and welcome back to another science lesson. Let's get straight into it. So I do hope that you did enjoy starting your new unit on materials, and we're heading back into that this week again. So before we start, I have a quick 3 questions for you. What do herbivores eat? What materials did we learn about last week? And what material are these objects that I am holding in front of me? What are they made of? And is it a natural material or is it a man-made material? Give you a few minutes to think about those questions and then we'll go through the answers together. Right. Let's have a look at question number 1. What do herbivores eat? Herbivores eat plants. Any idea what carnivores might eat? Maybe you can put that at the bottom of your home learning worksheet and as an extension, and I'll see if I can give somebody maybe a dojo for answering that question for me. What do carnivores eat? And then number 2, what materials did we learn about last week? So last week when I introduced materials to you, we learned about wood, metal and plastic. And number 3, the objects that I was holding up were made from wood, it's a wooden spanner and a wooden hammer. And it is a natural material. Well done if you've got all of those correctly. If not, don't worry, we can always try again next week. Let's head into our lesson. So, everyday materials again, we'll be doing this for the next few weeks. And then we're going to name a variety of materials again. This week we'll be looking at glass, water, and rock. Yes, water is also a type of material. Just to recap on what a material is, it's a substance used to make something, and everything around us, like we said, is made of materials, like this keyboard I have over here. This is made of plastic. Oops, sorry, that's my plastic pen that just fell on the floor. And then I have my wooden tools. So everything around us is made of a certain material, okay? We have natural materials, which we find in nature. And then we also have man-made materials, which we humans make in factories. So, I just told you the definitions of natural materials, which is something we find in nature, if you didn't hear me. And also, man-made materials are things that we make in factories. Let's have a look at our types of materials again. So natural materials are things that we find in nature, and we don't have to make them because it's there already. We just use them to make an object. So they come from animals, plants, or simply from the earth. We may have to dig them out of the ground, grow them, or take them from living things. Then on the other side, we have our man-made materials, which is materials that cannot be found in nature. They are made by humans and people make them in factories. They are materials that man has changed and molded or modified, okay, and transformed into the way we want them to be. Over here we have a few types of natural and man-made materials. Again, I'm going to give you a few seconds to just have a look at them, see if you can identify all of them, or even most, maybe not all. Perfect. Let's move on. So today, like I said at the beginning of the lesson, we'll be learning about three new materials. They are you ready? They are rock, they are water, and glass. If you have a look around the room you're sitting in, or even outside, out of your window, is there anything that you can see which is made of these three materials? Just have a quick glance. I'll have a look around myself as well and see what I can find made of those materials. Off you go. Perfect. So I'll go first. I saw my door and windows, which are made of glass. I also found my fireplace, which is made of rock or stone. What did you find? You can just shout them out quickly. Off you go. Great. Well done, year one. You're doing so well. Firstly, we have our rock. As you can see, there's a few different pictures to show you about different types of rock and also how they are formed. So, rock is a natural material. It comes from volcanoes. And then rock is formed when the magma comes out of the volcano and the lava cools down. And eventually it just gets harder and harder, and that's how rocks are formed. I will attach 2 videos for you to watch at your own time onto the home learning document about rocks and also glass. The next one is glass, which is a man-made material. Glass is formed when we mix sand and rocks and they are heated at a very, very high temperature and then cooled quite rapidly. I was lucky enough to go and watch people making and blowing glass into different shapes when I visited in Italy a few years ago. So maybe you can Google a few videos and see how amazing that is. So, very important for you to notice is that glass and crystal is not the same thing. Okay, crystal is a natural material and sometimes people might find them or confuse them with each other because as you can see in this picture over here with the black background, this crystal looks quite see-through, transparent, and it looks a lot like glass, but it's not because crystals are naturally formed on the earth, whereas glass is man-made. Our last type of material we'll be looking at today is water. As you know, water is a natural material and it's used for so many things. You can use it for ice cubes, for your tea and your coffees, people to build canals. We find them in our oceans, in the swimming pool. So it's all natural materials. So before I carry on, can you mention the 3 types of materials we just spoke about? You can shout it out. You can tell the person next to you. You can tell your pet. Great, well done. And can anyone tell me which material that I've just mentioned of the 3 is man-made? Perfect. Glass is the man-made material and rock and water are our natural materials. Very well done. So, before we go ahead, I'll play a quick I Spy. I think I have at least one object made of one of these materials with me, and then maybe you can go and play I Spy later with someone else at home, finding one of these materials around you outside. You can even play inside, doesn't matter. Are you ready? So, I spy with my little eye an object made of glass. I wonder what that object might be. Yes, you're right. My water bottle is indeed made of glass. Well done. I hope you can find quite a few more objects around your house later on when you play I Spy with someone else. Let's have a look at objects and materials. Again, we're just going to recap the difference between an object and a material, say whether they're the same, whether they're different, and what the difference is. Okay, an object and a material is not the same thing. Okay, we use different types of materials to make a certain object. Let's have a look at this one. To the left, which we have the Statue of Liberty. The object is a statue, and the material it's made of is rock, or some people might say stone. Can you have a look at this one and tell me what the object is, and also tell me the material? It might be a material we used last week as well, but I would like to know the material we used this week. Well done. The object is glasses, and the material is glass. Well done. The next one, this is a pretty one. We have marbles, which is our object. And can anyone guess the material that marbles are made of? If you should ever knock them together, it will be very clear that they are made of glass. Well done. The next one, we have a little cottage, which is clearly made of rock. So there we can definitely see that an object and a material is not the same thing. Over there we have a beautiful necklace, which is our object, and the material the necklace is made of is stone or rocks, as you would say. And the last one, this is a bit tricky because there's a few objects in this picture. They might be trying to fool us, but because we've learned about only 3 objects or materials today, we know that this object has got to be the canal, and our material is water that fills our canal. Right. If you need to re-watch this video, please do go ahead and re-watch it as many times as you'd like before you complete your independent activity. Like last week, I have 3 pictures for you. Please have a look at the object, the material, and don't forget to circle and tell me whether it is man-made or natural. It can't be both. It can only be man-made or natural. Please don't forget to circle one. And then I also have an extension at the bottom for you where you can choose 2 more objects made of glass, 2 made of rocks, and 2 made of water, which you can draw at the bottom of your paper. And do not forget to add in your own extension from the do now, which was, what do carnivores eat? I look forward to having a look at your work next on Seesaw later on. So I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.